Hey there, fast trackers. How's everybody doing today? Couple things that I want to share with you today around breath work and meditation. But first, I want to take just a moment to expand a little bit on the airplane analogy from the last episode. That episode was really just kind of going through, the fact that you're going to go through some turbulence, but then once you get above the turbulence, then you're going to be able to experience more stillness, more calm, more peace. And one thing that I wanted to elaborate on is that once you get above the turbulence, you don't actually have to come back down and then go back up through the turbulence again and then come back down. And then, it's not like this pattern where you're not really, moving forward or gaining ground. So once you get here, once you've gotten above that turbulence, you are going to go through turbulence again, but it's going to be from here to here. Okay. So you're going to have some turbulence as you go from here to here. And then you're going to have some turbulence as you go from here to here, and so on. But you are always making progress. So keep that in mind. And also, I just really wanted to emphasize the fact that, at least to me, this is all so incredibly worth it. Yes, you are doing personal work. And yes, sometimes that can be painful. It can be bumpy. There's a lot of things that you have to go through as far as, moving out energies that no longer serve you in order to bring in new energies that do serve you. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, you're a better version of yourself every time you do that, and you're feeling better and you're making progress, and life is just getting better in general. So I did want to just at least touch on that yeah, there are a lot of reasons why we do this work, but that's a big one too. That's a big one. So I hope that you can keep that in your sights and know that your life really is going to get better the more of this kind of work that you can do, okay? All right, so let's talk about breath work and meditation for a few minutes. I talk to people, pretty often, people who are open to having these kinds of conversations. And oftentimes when people are just starting out on their journey and they start to think about meditation can be really overwhelming. People will try meditation and then they'll say, oh, nope, that's not for me. I can't do it. Nope, I tried. My mind wandered the whole time. And yeah, I'm just not good at meditation, so I'm not going to do that. Well, okay, let's think about a sport. Let's say, for example, you were going to learn how to play soccer for the first time. All right. So if you go out and you say, okay, my very first soccer practice is on Tuesday, and you go out on Tuesday to learn how to play soccer, and you've never played soccer before. Well, at the end of the practice, someone asks you, how does it go? How did it go? And you say, oh, no, I'm not doing that. Soccer's not for me. I was terrible. Everybody else was so much better than me. Nope, soccer's not for me. Not going to do it. You wouldn't really do that, right? With soccer, you would know that you need to practice. You would know that on the very first practice, all the other people probably are going to be better than you. Not that meditation is a competition, which it's not, okay? But there are going to be people who are farther along the path than you are in this soccer practice, and that's perfectly fine. And you don't expect yourself to be perfect at soccer the very first time you play. You make a commitment to practice, and you make a commitment to do it over and over and over again until you get better at it. Well, meditation is the same way. With meditation, you want to begin at the beginning. You want to start, with an app, perhaps. You can do it on your own, or you can use an app, and you do it for 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes. And the whole idea of meditation is being aware of the thoughts that come in and not trying to push them away, but you say, you know what? This thought is coming through. I recognize that this thought is coming through, and now I'm going to let that go. So meditation is a combination to me of a few things. Number one, recognizing the thoughts that are coming in, having awareness around those thoughts, and then letting them go. And it's also breath work. It's learning how to breathe deeply so that it's beneficial for your body. And it's also being present. So whatever you're doing where you are completely present, to me, that's a meditation. So you could be jogging, You could be jogging, and if you are completely focused on the task that you're doing, that's a meditation. If you're into horses, you could be brushing the horse. And if you're totally into this task and there's nothing else that's coming in at that time, that's a meditation. For me, walking in the woods with my dogs, that's a huge walking meditation, moving meditation for me. So give yourself some grace and kind of, open up to some new ideas of what meditation may be for you. So let's talk about, we're going to back it up even just a couple of steps here, because if meditation is something that is overwhelming for you, then why don't we back it up, and instead of meditating, we'll just do a couple of different breathing exercises. There's a couple that I really like. Actually, there's a lot that I really like, but I'm going to go over two of them today. And one of them is where it's called box breathing, where you have an in-breath and an out-breath that are the same count, and then you're pausing in between. And so I'm just going to go through it with you, and you can follow along if you like, but we're going to breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, and hold for a count of 4. Okay, so you're also going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So let's go ahead and do this together. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Now take a moment, let your breathing go back to normal, and just notice how you feel. So noticing how you feel is a big part of this too, because if you feel better than you did just a few moments ago, well, then that was a worthwhile exercise, right? And you can do that for as long as you need to. Doing it in traffic is a really, really good idea, especially if, you're getting frustrated in that scenario. Now, having your in-breath and your out-breath equal is great because you're giving air back and you're taking air in at an equal level, okay? So your giving and your receiving are balanced. So that's one reason why I really like that one. Now I'm going to talk about another breathing exercise here where your exhale is actually longer than your inhale. Now, what happens when your exhale is longer than your inhale? That activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Your parasympathetic nervous system is part of your overall nervous system, which includes your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight response. And that you should mostly be feeling only if, you're in the woods and there's a grizzly bear right in front of you. Or if you're hanging onto a cliff by your fingers and you might fall, or something along those lines. That's what should make your fight or flight response kick in. However, because of the way that we live in society today with all of the external stimuli coming in, and there's so much involved that we take in every day that is designed to put us in a fear state, most of us live in that fight or flight response all the time. And so what we want to do is go from that fight or flight to our rest, regenerate, and repair state. That is our parasympathetic nervous system. So having an exhale that is longer than the inhale actually activates that system and serves so much just to give us a state of calm and peace. And for any of you who have anxiety like I do, it's amazing, okay? You do that for a few minutes, I promise you it's better than Xanax. So I really encourage you to give that a try. All right, so let's do that one together here for a couple minutes. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4, and we're going to hold for just a moment, and then we're going to breathe out for a count of 6, hold for just a moment. Okay, so you ready? All right. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let your breathing go back to normal and notice how you feel. I really like both of those a lot. And so if meditation is something where you just don't feel like you're quite there yet, these breathing exercises and then some other ones can be incredibly helpful. All right, now let's say if you are actually ready to maybe, stick your big toe into meditation and see what you can find out there. Again, it's really important to begin at the beginning. Give yourself grace and just know that your mind is going to wander, and that's going to be part of the whole process. One thing that I learned about recently is called candle gazing, and that was something that I really enjoyed. So you can do a search in the search engine for candle gazing, and you'll come up with some meditations that you can use and follow along with that. Guided meditations are extremely helpful. I've been meditating for several years now, and sometimes I meditate on my own, and a lot of times I still use guided meditations for a lot of different things. There is an app, a mobile app that I highly, highly recommend, and it's called Insight Timer. Now, if you're not familiar with Insight Timer, they have well over 100,000 free meditations. They have all kinds of different things, from shamanic drumming to vocal toning they have a whole section just for beginners. They have a fantastic section for sleep music, sleep meditation. One thing I do is I get up first thing in the morning and I turn my speaker on and I just put on some really nice, peaceful, relaxing music. So as I get going with my morning routine, that's what I'm listening to. And so they have a whole lot to offer. And I think the only thing you might have to pay for is if you want to do a course or something along those lines. But for me, I use all of the free services and it's wonderful. So again, they do have an entire section for beginners. So keep it short and sweet and begin at the beginning, and you'll definitely be successful. And just, practice it like you would practice a sport or anything else, or music, violin, piano, those kinds of things. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today. I have a lot of really good content coming up that I'm really excited to share with you. One thing I definitely want to share with you, I think for the next episode, is going to be ascension symptoms. So if you're experiencing some, physical symptoms along with this process of your spiritual awakening and your personal growth and development, that is something that happens to a lot of us, particularly as fast trackers, because we are moving so quickly. So stay tuned. I haven't decided yet exactly how often I'm going to be doing these, so I'll keep you posted on that. But I'll be back, certainly within the next few days with a new episode. I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day.